speaking of, let's get back to it! Yesterday, we ended with the return of a man who looks like Ardbert, but we know it's not Ardbert. Fucking little bus stalking around in our man's corpse. We're not going to the Dossel Gate? Oh, we're not going to the Dossel Gate. Oops. Where are we going? Where are we dropping? Oh, we are. Okay. Dude, Mr. Bus is taking over our mans. That's not acceptable. Ardbert is a good noodle. That's the theme of this game. Good noodles only. Sleep disturbed. You did well to dispel the falsehoods surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions prior to the Flood. Though I must say the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. He is an impostor, of that there is no doubt, but to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. After the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore, the people prayed fervently to the gods to deliver them from their plight, prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for their sacrifices. What bitter irony. I, for one, would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. Ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that Master Alphino returneth soon, with that most essential knowledge. For now, I think it best to apprise Thancred and Reen of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what is to come. Beklug and I will continue our research into how we might improve the spirit vessel, that I might one day carry you home. It, not I. Then I think it time I returned to the Great Wood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Ascians has been handed to us at their leisure, but that was one of Emmett Selk's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I received word from Vanau that heretofore unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Katana Ravel. Almet believes the relics within tell of a great calamity that befell an ancient civilization, that of the Ascians, perhaps, that they may lead us to the truths we seek. Would you care for company? I wouldn't dream of going without you. When you are ready, make for Fanau. Almet and her sisters will be expecting us. Then let us be about our tasks. Pray give my regards to the V's. Apologies if you hear the horrid sounds of eating. I am trying to mute between cutscenes to enjoy. Welcome, allies of Bronca. We have accomplished much since you last came. With the White Lord, what? Blah, 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 blah. English is hard. With the Light Warden dead and its minions dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Raktika Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins. Although we ran afoul of no traps while exploring its halls, we determined the innermost chambers were warded by magic. We all were in agreement. Before any investigation could proceed, you should be summoned. We are grateful that you did. From what you have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom my comrades and I seek can be found within. This wisdom could prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest asset is our ignorance. I see. Then it is good you have come. Ronka was once home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding. And it's our duty to ensure you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution. To have reached the inner chambers unmolested suggests a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now, surely any threats sleeping within the ruins pale in comparison to those we've faced thus far. This is not a game, sister. You should not be so eager to run headlong into danger. Oh, and who was it pining for the return of our allies that we might venture into the ruins, clutching her sap at night, wishing it were? You promised not to tell! Then I suggest we be going. Get back here! Remind me, exactly how old are you and your sisters? On second thought, perhaps it's for the better, I do not know. Pray forgive their overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins and bear witness to its secrets. Their hearts now burn with a curiosity that is not so easily satisfied. Please, you needn't apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well their enthusiasm, and if not for your sedulous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let us make the katana ravel. Tally-ho! Lahi! Been so long. A duty! All about duties in this house. It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits us on the other side. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Not quite a gauntlet, but it's saying, hey, I am going to put this on for... This is only for dungeons, but just because it reminded me. I'm going in!
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast. Though that much is plain from its proportions.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed. Why you... Ugh.
This owl, by contrast, seems no different from the others we've seen.
The sealed door lies ahead. As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism. Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone. He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly. Wait! Don't!
What? But I only... What is happening? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it lives!
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
Show us fucking done with this shit. And now my friends are all playing cards. You trespass, mortal, upon sacred ground. In retribution, 4 souls have I bound. Yet to heroes proven learned and wise, a comrade's soul shall be their prize. You would see theirs set free, answer me these riddles 3. Deft of paw, with kin do I vie. Though some apart betterment of the whole do our efforts to descry, what am I? Colibri, Oppo, Oppo, Uoro. I was thinking wolf, but that's obviously not an answer. Probably Oppo. Indeed, the Oppo Oppo is keen and shrewd, the spirit of ingenuity by whose guidance the Ronkids did prosperity pursue. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. With fearsome fang I travel with pack, together we find harmony, and thus for peace our land does not lack. What am I? There we go. Statue. Indeed, 'twas the spirit of the wolf their doctrines praised, that they would know peace and harmony to the end of their days. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. On my belly do I crawl, but my strength does prosperity reign within our hall. What am I? Snake. Indeed, the dread serpent turned protector, lured to slumber, ere it tear the world asunder. The riddle's answer you did discern, thus to you a soul returns. Desire you that which I yet claim, then we shall play another game. A test of mind and memory, choose wisely, and you all may yet go free. Twixt these talismans hide friend and foe, choose your companions well, or sorrow no. Your comrades are assembled, together at last. Yet there still remains one trial you must pass. If you would glean the knowledge enshrined in this earth, I would first take the measure of your worth. One worthy of she who the Ronkans extolled must be strong of mind, body, and soul. Finally, this is what I was expecting from these ruins. Be careful, sisters! Hold nothing back. The failure of this test does not appear to be an option. Quickly, fan out before it strikes. Its sights are set on Y'shtola. Hurry, we must protect her. Victory off begs sacrifice, but which of you would pay the price?
Here I come.
Apparently me. Kenliana, hurry, we have to save her. Look at these little noodles doing mechanics. Impressive. You may think you have won, but I've only just begun. Poison! Come, gather around me. Reinforcements? Leave them to me. Mustn't waste time with the slime. Focus on the Guardian. Show them your all. Well fought, hero. The trial is complete. The way is open, and thus, I concede defeat.
Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Ah, we were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber. A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
She is Vis. Could it be the Archmage Tiuna? A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I for one always believed.
I wonder. By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Naught less than the echo. In which case, none of this is mere coincidence. A shower of stars setting the sky aflame. And in both this world and the Source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might. Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover, does it not recall that which Emet-Selch invited us to witness in Amarot? The final days. If, as the XIV's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger? The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided, it would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence. Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot.
You must recall Emet-Selch's dying request.
Remember us.
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes, and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions cannot fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently. We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emmett Selk and his kin. But we have disturbed Tiuna long enough. Fana will serve similarly well as a venue for our contemplations.
I appreciate you, Stola. And I will be right back. During that cutscene, I managed to spill sauce on my shirt like a goddamn animal. I'm gonna go change. Get back. Alright, I'm back. Even though we're not playing Mass Effect, I put on my new N7 shirt in her honor. I was wearing my N7's hoodie, but it was too hot. By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. But as well, in time, the knowledge you have gleaned will lead to understanding, and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, of histories learned, not lived. The legend of Tiuna and her exploits has been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed from one generation to the next, the story changes. With each telling of the tale, there are new flourishes, details changed or lost. You can never truly know how she lived, for we were not the ones to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We've seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone. And though it too will change in time, I swear to you, we shall do our best to preserve your story. I hope you'll forgive me if I don't make an oath of my own, but I think it goes without saying we could never misspeak of your heroism. Perish the thought. So long as we're here, there are none among the V's who will not know of all you have done for Norvrent. You're not deserving of such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain that we will have our own tales to tell of the great guardians of Raktika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray you safe travels then. As ever, we shall await your return with open arms. Although we learned naught of the Ascians, the insight we gained into the Echo made our trip worthwhile. Before we return to the Crystarium, however, there is a small matter I would attend to in Slitherbough. Might I trouble you to come with me? Thank you. After we arrive, I should have a brief word with Runar. Thought that was my chocobo for a second. That's what Ember looks like, except this is a colored buddy. Liliana, it is good to see you. You've arrived at a most opportune time. I was preparing a pot of my famous stew. Come, I will ready a place for you. I'm sorry, Runar, but we haven't the... Please, I insist. It will take only a minute. My apologies, Kinliana. It seems our return to the Crystarium will be delayed. But perhaps only for a bit, if you assist me with my work. I say work, but it is rather more a chore. I must clean my chambers here in Slitherbough from top to bottom. It would be so kind as to go and fetch the broom from Asgeir. We might finish before Runar is done cooking. A broom for Master Matoya? I cannot imagine why she would have need of such a thing, but here you are. It is old but sturdy, and sure to suffice. I trust Asgeir was able to find a broom for us? Well worn. Good. This will prove difficult otherwise. Though I must say, I think I did rather well for not having a broom thus far. Yes, well, you weren't buried beneath a veritable avalanche of books when you entered, were you? Right. Anyway, it is time I finished cleaning with that help of that broom. Oh, that's not how you use a broom. You didn't honestly think I'd do it the old-fashioned way. A broom is more than capable of sweeping by itself. Or, rather, it will be. Time to rise, to swish and sweep. A tidy chamber you must keep. For this task you shall be bound, until no dust is to be found. In this one particular respect, I have no objections to following in Master Matoya's footsteps. In future, I may need you to remind me the pursuit of knowledge does not preclude other equally important duties, such as maintaining clean quarters for said pursuit. Runar, don't be nosy. I will dearly miss this place. These people. But Master Matoya, pardon the interruption, but the stew is ready. Something troubling you? You've been rather quiet. No, everything is fine, I assure you. It has been a long day is all. I see. Y'shtola, thank goodness you're still here. Alphino, I thought you were following Ardbert. I was, though I'm sad to say I lost track of him shortly after entering these woods. He seems determined to traverse every ilm of Norvrent and is in his quest to spread the truth of the Warriors of Light and the Flood. And it seems news of your address to the Crusaerian precedes him at every destination, making his task all the more simple. It remains to be seen what end he encourages the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. There's no denying that his words have struck a chord with many. Well, we're all agreed that it's just another Ascian ploy, yes? They've commandeered corpses before, and to no good end. I see no reason to think this time is any different, especially when it's that of a fallen warrior of light. I doubt we'll learn more if we remain a step behind. His next destination is, in all likelihood, Slitherbow. Alize, are you certain you should be here? You're concerned about Halric and the others, you needn't be. Their treatment is going well, but progress is slow and exhausting for all of us. The best thing I can do now is to let them rest, so I believe we are about to discuss how to arrange a meeting with our would-be Warrior of Light. Before visiting any towns or villages, Ardbert would hunt down and slay a nearby Sin Eater to earn the locals' trust. Our best chance of getting ahead of him is to find one before he does. Thankfully, Thancred and Reen are returned from the Empty and have taken up the search. Reen believeth one may lurk beneath the boughs of Woven Oath. And that is where we shall start our search. Master Matoya! A warm bowl of stew will be awaiting your return. I look forward to it.
If you were hoping to vent your frustrations on our Eater friend here, I can only apologize.
Few as they are now, it took us no time at all to track it down.
That suits our purpose perfectly. Now we need only wait for Ardbert to arrive.
Weren't you two meant to be attending to the Empty?
We were, and are, but we can hardly ignore the rest of the world. So we thought we might see how things were coming along. From what we can gather, the answer is strangely.
Right now, we think we can do more good here.
It is heartening to have all present.
Indeed. We will be glad of the additional hands should matters escalate.
Our quarry has come.
It seems I've lost this particular race. Although I suppose it's only fair. When we first met, it was I who outpaced you. Ravana, was it? But where are my manners? I wouldn't be here were it not for you, and I have yet to say a word of thanks.
Send a friendly. Ardbert. Fist bump.
I'm giving you trouble? You should have it examined.
You're not. Ardbert. I thought you were supposed to be good at this.
Very well. Let us forego this pretense. After all, it was never you that I needed to deceive. Yes, it is I, Elizabeth. Through your time in Emet-Selk's imitation of our home, I dare say you have gained a better understanding of my role since last we met. Not that it matters.
We understand your role, emissary, but not your goal. What is it that you seek to achieve?
I seek to enact the will of the Convocation, of course. If it helps you to think of me as but another Ascian, no different in nature or purpose from the rest, you are welcome to do so.
Once, I would have said your goal was destruction alone. Now I understand that you fight for something you love, just as we do. Yet though we seem doomed to clash, I bid you consider Emet-Selk's final words. Remember that we once lived, he said. Had he not seen some glimmer of hope in our kind, I do not believe he would have spoken thus.
None better understood your plight than he. His words must surely be worthy of your consideration.
Emet-Selk. How very unlike you to err so gravely. That one should stray at the end of so onerous a path is understandable, but I had thought you above such weakness. Mayhap you thought the same. Would that I had been present to offer correction. But I shall do so now, as is my duty, and return all to its proper course. As for you, look at yourselves. Look at your history. Look back 100 short years to how your greatest warriors were undone. And now, at but a word from me, you raise your hands in answer like the puppets you are. Naught has changed. You fail, and you fail, and you learn nothing. Allow that which is most important to slip through your fumbling fingers like so many grains of sand, again and again and again, and you would remember us. You do forget yourselves. There is no common ground to be found between you and I, nor do I require any. I have my duty.
Wait!
Well, we have confirmed the identity of our foe at least, and 'tis safe to say his objective is the rejoining.
But we still have no idea how playing the part of a warrior of light will further his cause, nor why he would spur others to do the same.
Another visit to the Tempest may shed some light upon these mysteries. Whether we are to exchange words or blows with Elidibus at our next meeting, the fact remains, we know too little. Ere our paths cross again, I would learn more of the world that once was, and of Elidibus himself. In this, we would be best served going directly to his home, much as Emmett Selk came to ours.
Though I see the wisdom in thy suggestion, the Amarot we visited is but a phantom born of Emmett Selk's memory. I fear it will teach us little that we do not already know.
I quite agree. Yet the ruins of the actual city remain unexplored. Given the vastness of the Tempest, I should not be surprised were there more such structures like to those in which the Ondo reside.
There's ought to be learned. I want to know.
A woman after my own heart.
Assuming we are all in agreement, then I suggest we first pay a visit to the Ondo. If anyone can tell us where more ruins are to be found, it is them.
Alfino has the right of it. Let us pay a visit to the Ondo. We should speak with Tolshath first. As chieftain, he is doubtless privy to a great many secrets. I have sent for no finless ones. Perhaps you instead come seeking something of us. Ruins which your kind have yet to explore. I see. I know of one such place. Alas, under these circumstances, I'm afraid we can spare none to guide you there. What circumstances are these? Rather than hunt for their own meals, the Benthos have pillaged our stores of Veneri liver. They must be replenished with haste. The Benthos, a particularly violent tribe of Ondo, as I recall. A band of bottom feeders. We all lost much in the flood, but while others work to rebuild, they resort to thievery and murder. Revenge, they call it, when they prey upon your kind. But do not be fooled. They care not whom they harm. Would that we had the warriors to challenge them. This is not the first time they've stolen from us, but there's no resource more precious than liver. All must dedicate themselves to the hunt. Unless, of course, we were to reclaim the livers for you. It seems a fitting payment for vital information, does it not? Moreover, one could argue that by employing Bismarck to reach these depths, thereby driving back the waters, we are in part responsible for the deeds of those driven to desperate ends by the changing climes. Well, we certainly can't leave them like this. I thought you might say that. You've never been one to miss an opportunity to help. Reclaiming the stores it is, then. We would be grateful beyond words if you did. Benthos have surely taken the livers back to the Flounder's floor. Be warned, there will be no shortage of guards waiting to spear intruders. Then we will have care not to draw their attention, shall we? Oh, you're just gonna like point out my hunt monster to me like right there. This should be 76. Good enough. You know, mind the fact that I used the big attack before trick attack. I'm a bad ninja. Cursory sniff, you detect the faint aroma of fresh oranges. Far cry from the rather memorable scent of Miri liver. Probably in that corner. Boxes are filled with assorted vegetables. Liver is not a vegetable. Oh, thanks, game. I was a little confused, but now it's all clear. Oh. Oh, yeah. The shoe bill is, right? No, okay. I thought there was a shoe bill in here, but no. From the squelching noise they make when prodded and the vile stench, you conclude that these bags are bursting with livers. Brilliant. Are those them? Perhaps you've deduced this already, but it seems the Benthos have been raiding Calusian storehouses as well as those of the Ondo. Oranges, pumpkins, wheat. We can discuss this after we see the liver safely back to Tolshoth. It wouldn't do to keep him in suspense. Fran really be about to make me carry 3 bags of liver all on my own. A bad friend. I'm relieved to see you unspared. Our precious livers! I knew you would not fail. We also found all manner of foodstuffs from Calusia in the Flounder's floor. Tell me, Tolshoth, does that seem odd to you? It's brazen, to be sure. I'm reminded of rumors I've heard recently concerning a rash of thefts from Calusian warehouses. The perpetrators enter in the dead of night and are gone before anyone has realized what has happened. The Ilmoran army has been investigating, but thus far to no avail. Perhaps the reason they have struggled so is that their quarry is at the sea. The true question, then, is what we mean to do about it. Much as I would like to proceed to the ruins without further delay, we cannot allow the Benthos to carry on as they are. If I may, I believe that the ruins are, in fact, key to the Benthos' plan. That's so. These ruins, which lie deep within the illuminated land, are a recent discovery. We've seen signs that the Benthos are preparing to claim them with all haste. We cannot fathom why, but in light of the knowledge that they have been stockpiling resources, clear their queen will soon give birth. They require space to raise their young, and food for both queen and hatchlings to thrive. Well, we can hardly fault them for that. Under normal circumstances, perhaps, but conditions in the Tempest are far from suitable for spawning. Its resources barely able to sustain our current population. There's only one reason they would disregard this. They seek to build an army, and with it take revenge upon the Finless. It is not a surprise. They came to us not long ago, seeking allies for the cause. We rebuffed them, of course. The suffering of others will not serve as balm to their own. Their queen, however, desires only bloodshed, and will gladly send her children to die in our stead. They are planning to wage war. That changes matters considerably. Indeed. I doubt this can be resolved without violence, but perhaps with a show of force we can convince them to see reason before the die is cast. I would rather not risk your people in the attempt. If we travel to the illuminated land, is there a way we might identify the ruins ourselves? Yes. Once you reach its depths, go deeper still. You will see a monstrous structure there upon the seafloor. What you have come to us now is the will of the Ancient Ones. They have guided you here, that you may drive out the usurpers, those who seek to use their magnificent creations for the vile purpose. I have no doubt that they will show you the way forward. I'm afraid that the dead do not speak quite so clearly. Nevertheless, we shall try not to disappoint. If what we seek lieth deeper still, beyond Amarot, I would call upon the assistance of another. Though our course hath been decided, to pursue it we must needs beseech the aid of a friend. Aye, I speak of Bismarck. Pray, follow me to Sullen, that we might seek an audience with him once more. Kinda loving the foggy look in this forest. Purple and spooky. This fog. Fog weather. From here we press onward to the Isle of Ken. I myself shall proceed on foot. You perfected your technique, then? Just so. The water will be glass beneath my feet, and provideth purchase, fragile yet true. Watch closely. Oh, certainly I shall. Forgive me, but would it not be easier to perfect your swimming technique? Aye, it would be a pity if you drowned, truly. Oh, hush, I'm sure it'll be brilliant. He's done it! Incredible! Even spookier with the fog. Uh-oh. Whoop! Mariange! Oh, for the love of... mine apologies. The technique requireth the purest of focus, and mine was lacking. To perfect this magic, I went so far as to deal with the Fuoth. With their aid, mine efforts finally met with success, albeit on a single occasion. I know not why I cannot repeat it. I thought I saw you waver a bit towards the end there. Perhaps you're simply tired? Tancred? Nothing to worry about. Only a dizzy spell, though it may not be wise to go for another swim just now. Thankfully, we have an alternative. A wonderful little invention, I'm certain you'll agree. Dolish sassing him like dumbasses get in the boat. I will petition Bismarck's aid on our behalf. Let us pray my diplomacy proveth more effective than mine experimental magics. You speak with the voice of the king, little neighbors. I will not deny you. As before, if you seek what sleeps beneath the sea, I will be your guide. Thy kindness is as boundless as the depths, serene one. Before we depart, however, I would ask a favor. After our last flight, I found many creatures clinging to me. I am itchy. Remove them, and I will take you below. With all haste it shall be done. So, did he agree? Aye, though we need to a favor in kind. I agreed to a favor in kind. Regrettably, it's not one I possess the power to grant. Bismarck hath asked us to cleanse his underbelly of barnacles. Alas, one must needs dive beneath the surface to do so. Even if I could master the power to walk upon it, it would avail me not. Oh, for heaven's sake, is that all? Kinliana and I are more than capable of that. With the Kojin's blessing, we'll have it done within moments, and better than standing here listening to all this nonsense. I'll take the right, you the left. Now go. Yes, Mom. I am in your debt. Again, guys, we can breathe underwater! Fuck! At least Alize remembers it sometimes. Allie hit. Oh, I couldn't. Hello? I would like to jump off. Hello? Hello? I guess I have to fly down. I'm not allowed to jump in the water. Going in. God, they're like big zits. After a good deal of prying from various angles, you dislodge the barnacle. You're so yucky. After a good deal of prying from various angles, you dislodge the barnacle. After a good dealing of prying from various angles, you dislodge the barnacle. Thine efforts are most sincerely appreciated. I will inform Bismarck that we may depart without further delay. Much, much better. Thank you, little neighbors. I remember, a long time ago, another did this favor for me. After the flood, when I chose this spot for my slumber, he came and made a home on my back. Ken was his name. When I grew itchy, I stirred, but he was not afraid. No, he asked me what was wrong. I told him of the creatures clinging to my belly, and he dove into the water. He helped me. He was my friend. He told me he wished to live in peace, away from his people and their wars. This I understood. I treasured our time together, brief though it was, brief though it always is, but I remember him and how he laughed when we flew. I remember when he slept. I too slept that day, and many days since. But the light fades and the darkness returns, and sleeps, but in memory he laughs, and together we fly. And I am here. I am awake. It feels good to speak and to be heard again. A shame others cannot understand me. If thou art willing to learn, I would gladly teach thee the language of man. Thank you, little friend, but it is time I grant you your request. But first, I will take flight to cleanse my body and prepare. The dive will be swift, and I would not have you struck by errant debris. This island was named for a man. How easily the past is forgotten. He passed not on even 100 years ago, yet the truth has slipped from history like so many grains of sand. Might I have some explanation of what he just said, or shall we stand around making vague and mysterious allusions? While he maketh ready to deliver us unto our destination, Bismarck bade us wait for him on the shore of Colusia. That's all? I feel as though there was more to it. Indeed there was, but it hath no bearing on the task at hand. I should be glad to share the rest with you anon. Fine. Later, then. If Bismarck requires time to prepare, might I suggest a short respite? For Urianger and Thancred in particular. I require no such thing. I am the picture of perfect health. Mine was but a momentary lapse in concentration. Worry not on my account. You mustn't push yourself so. Please rest. For me? Reen's dad's gotta go take a nap. Oh, alright, if you insist. You too, Kinliana. You've been running yourself ragged. Yes, ma'am. In that case, I'll leave the old men in your care. The rest of us will meet you at the Split Hull anon. A word of advice. Never let it show. When she realizes she struck a nerve, she remembers. By the gods, she remembers. In any case, if we must be made to rest, I know a place in Sullen that's better for it than most. Come with me. May as well have a seat. We wouldn't want our elderly knees to give out. To hear you speak, you'd think I'm on my deathbed. By the 12. I wish that girl wouldn't worry so much. Thy countenance belies thy words, Master Thancred. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Let the record show that I am here under protest. Though, I can't say I mind the view. Shitty rain and fog? Nice view. And if the abundance of anglers is any indication, even an amateur might lend an impressive catch. Shall we try our hands at it? Help! Somebody! Quickly! It's Nightshade! We was attacked on the road from the Crystarium. Barely escaped with my life! I suppose we might have predicted this. You mean you'll help? For free? Thank you! I recall correctly, Nightshade is a local band of outlaws. I doubt they'll trouble us over much. No more than they already have by interrupting our relaxation at any rate. These two have matters well in hand, by the looks of it. I'll not forget this kindness. Maybe meet again. Is that you, milady? Don't tell me we just deprived that poor fellow of the honor of being rescued by the Warrior of Darkness. We had no idea you were in the area. Fancy us meeting again so soon, eh? Why, I believe I even recognized your companion. Ah, yes, from the infirmary. You had a message for the Crystal Exarch, did you not? Good to see you back on your feet, and on patrol, no less. Ah, it's nothing as official as all that. Strictly speaking, we're off duty, but as we had a free moment, we thought we'd give a few of the less traveled roads a look. The guards don't have enough hands to patrol them regularly, you see. Admirable. There are few so devoted to their duty, in Lakeland or beyond. Well, we've been talking about it for a while, and neither of us is satisfied with just seeing out our service. Feels like we could be doing more. Like we should be doing more. It's all about having the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through. I remember you. Excitable one. Sorry, milady. I got a bit overexcited the other day. Couldn't get my words out. The name's Vonard, milady. I'm with the guard, but I don't just want to protect Lakeland. I want to protect the lot, just like the Warriors of Light. Sadly, our duties prevent us from venturing too far from our own little corner of Norvrent. What we'd really like to do is travel, to better ourselves, to go where the need is greatest. But everyone has to start somewhere, don't they? For now, if we can stop Nightshade from robbing the odd fisherman, then that's what we'll do. Well, well, future heroes of the first, do you think? They want naught for spirit. It is but a pity they draw inspiration from so clouded a wellspring. Yet it avail us not to fret in idleness. We must needs press on if we are to bring Elidibus' schemes to light. Though our respite was cut short, I dare say we are all eager to avail ourselves of such knowledge as the ruins may hold. Aye, I doubt further contemplation of Elidibus' machinations will be conducive to relaxation. We may as well make it for the split hall now. Figure we'll play to the end of this patch. There's this quest, which I do believe is a Dungan. Let's see. We Dunganin? Yeah, we're Dunganin. Dungan and one more quest, and then we'll call it a night. This part might end with this patch, but it probably ends with the next patch. All are present. Now we need but to wait. Bismarck's coming. 'Tis time. Pray make ready. I unfortunately did not like this dungeon, but that's okay. We'll give it a go. You're a nemesis Anadur. Yep, that's the squad, alright. We bring Reen, just because she's a precious young girl. We bring Reen.
Here we go.
Since she's only available for Shadowbringers trustage. This dungeon did have a really fun big pull, if you had a tank and a healer who could do it. You basically pulled a bajillion enemies at the end, boss to boss. To the depths. I see we're not to have a peaceful journey. Look at my adopted children. They are precious. Except Alize and Alfina are old enough to not be adopted children at this point. Reen, on the other hand, is like 14. Alfina and Alize start older than 14, so they're no longer children. They're just short little friends. These are poor neighbors indeed. Time has come to part with these interlopers. The walls fall. You must hurry. We were fortunate. What is all this? Tiresome creatures. There it lies. I give you my breath. Ha! Your wish is granted. Go, little wanderers.
underestimate me.
Third one.
Underestimate me!
As they woke up and chose violence.
Nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
You tried, obviously. Not good timing. I'll try again. Please? No, fair enough. Only get one. There we go. Good last. Just evaporated a pregnant woman. I hate when that happens.
This structure must have served an important function. And here are yet more crystals.
I too noted the crystal repository on the way. The Benthos seem to employ them in their spellcasting.
In such vessels did the ancients preserve concepts, ideal forms to be drawn upon in the act of creation. That so great an abundance should reside here lendeth credence to Ishtola's conclusion. This facility held great significance.
Thank you all for joining us at Anadar in these most perilous of times. By the summoning of Zodiark, we have been granted a reprieve, yet immutable as his laws he is woven may seem, they will not serve to forestall our doom. Nay, should we continue down this path, our fate will be the same. I said as much on the convocation, of course, but the stubborn fools turned a deaf ear to my warnings. I had hoped that the defector at least would side with us, but I regret to report our overtures have gone unanswered. Whither tend your thoughts, Vana? Where you lead, we will follow. Vana. I shall not speak ill of the convocation. They too seek only to secure the future of our star. Yet it is plain that they will not countenance a permanent solution. That being the case, we must ask ourselves a simple question. Are we prepared to pursue our chosen course, even should it mean suffering the eternal condemnation of our brethren? If so, I see no further reason to demur. Let us bring forth the light that shall ever keep after the darkness, ever after keep the darkness in check.
So, it was they who first summoned Hydaelyn.
Their discussion did seem to imply as much, yes. I cannot say I have ever heard of this Venar before.
For a certainty, Emet-Selch never uttered the name.
That's the first time she's mentioned.
The schism which Zodiark's advent wrought upon mankind. Some were of the viewpoint that his power must needs be restrained. And to that end, they call forth she who would serve as his shackles. We now know that it was this Venar to whom they looked for leadership.
And that this place, in all likelihood, served as their headquarters. The presence of such intimate records attests to that. I would hear what else they have to tell us. All of it. Did anyone see the source of the image? The device there? Then let us see what other secrets it holds.
Vana, please. Why must it be you? I may speak plainly. I would sooner it were another. Any other. You are our leader. None can take your place. You know as well as I that but a few support our cause. Far fewer than they who place their faith in Zodiark. If Heidelin is to stand a chance of opposing him, I am the only one who might suffice as her heart. Oh my god, this hits so much harder! Fuck! She knows! Rest assured, however, I shall not vanish from this world. The form I take shall ever remain my choice. And I will press you no more. Only know this, you will be sorely missed. I wonder, is this how the convocation felt about Elidibus? Oh my god, Vana! This hits so hard how they introduce her and when you know. If you know, you know. Oh god.
What? Forgive me, but did that not strongly imply that Elidibus sacrificed himself to become Zodiark's heart?
7 hells. Then who or what are we dealing with?
The device appears to activate via a form of ethereal attunement, not unlike an aetherite. Beyond that, I can say little for certain, save that we should take this opportunity to see what other records it contains. No response. Confound it. If I may, milady, the panel did formerly emit a soft yet perceptible glow. That it doth so no longer may betoken the depletion of some essential energy within. Given how long it has lain dormant, I think it fortunate it functioned at all. That may be, but if we can't get it to work again, we'll be leaving with more questions than we've answered. The white-robed emissary hath ever named himself Elidibus. Yet if the shade spoke true, Elidibus ceased to be ere even the sundering came to pass. This calleth to mind the truth that Emet-Selch did once reveal at passing, that the names by which we know our foes are not those given to Ascians at birth. Rather they are titles of office, afforded to individuals of merit, such as time as the role becometh vacant. Perchance the Elidibus at Zodiark's heart, and the emissariat with whom we are acquainted are not one and the same, but predecessor and successor. It's possible, if the previous Elidibus perished before the final days, the one we know could still be a survivor of the Sundering. And yet, something in that explanation rings false. I will remain for a time. I would not abandon my attempts to revive the device so soon. There is more to learn here, I can feel it. In matters of etherology, I know of none as capable as thee. If there existeth a means to learn more, thou wilt surely find it. Whilst thou art thus engaged, we shall attend to matters on the surface. Can we but uncover Elidibus's true origins, we may yet come to understand his designs. To that end, Y'shtola must needs be afforded as much time as she doth require to complete her investigations. The extent that such things are within our control, yes. Speaking of which, perhaps we might trouble the Exarch for news of his progress with the spirit vessel? He will no doubt wish to hear of our own discoveries as well, such as they are.
Dare I ask what's going on?
Ah, excellent timing. For me, in any case. We have a problem. The vast majority of those gathered here are presently in the employ of the Guard or else one of the facets, and no longer wish to be so. In principle, all are free to change vocation at any time, but a city does require a certain number of people in these positions if it is to continue to function. For the moment, I have asked them to postpone their resignation until such time as replacements can be found. As you may have surmised, we have the Warrior of Light to thank for this.
It's you! The Warrior of Darkness! You understand, don't you? Someone's going to have to look after this place once you're gone. We just want to be ready to do our bit when the time comes.
And not only here, but everywhere. Which is why we've got to get out there and lend a hand to those in need. That's what you did, isn't it? Even if it was just little things at the start. You helped people.
Well, yes.
And we're trying to do the same. We may have our sky back, but there's no shortage of people who still need help. If we follow in your footsteps, then I choose to believe we too can be heroes one day. Even warriors of light.
What are we to say to that? We can hardly tell them they are mistaken. They seek but to do good, as you have.
But no more can we stand idly by and suffer a paragon's scheme to proceed unchallenged.
Uh-oh.
What's happening to the sky?
Wicked White. Oh no.
By the 12.
A star shower.
I hear a voice.
You and all. Then why does it feel like it's inside my head?
Hear, feel, think?
I hear it.
Me too.
Did I not tell you, my friends? You are warriors of light! You're back! What you hear is the voice of light itself, and it has blessed you with its power. Welcome to the fold!
I'm a warrior of light.
I've been chosen?
Can it be?
Me, a hero.
Wait! The falling stars, were they your doing? And why do you need warriors of light?
What, am I to reveal my plans simply because you asked? Nay, I think not. Though the stars, I acknowledge mine. A convenient illusion apt to awaken what little is left of the power that once resided in your sundered souls. That which you and yours call the echo. And an echo it is, of a symphony, but a fraction of what men in their completeness once possessed. Even those among you who tower over others in the gift have only the faintest trace of it. But though sundered and forgotten through death and mocking rebirth, it has persisted. A whisper of our past, burned into your very ether, along with the sight of our end. Through the rekindling of memory, I have awoken the ability, just as Heidelin is wont to do when she has need of new minions.
The Echo hath ever been thought a gift from Heidelin, a boon granted solely to her chosen. Yet thou wouldst claim she merely awakeneth the power that men should hearken unto? Her voice. Given the perceived simultaneity of her call and the awakening of her chosen's capacity to hear it, it is only natural that we thus attributed the source of the gift. Yet if, in truth, the echo is a prerequisite for hearing her voice, one might surmise that her call never ceaseth, such that all who awaken to their innate gift might receive of the blessing of light at the self-same instant. In sooth, we bore witness to this but moments ago. At the sight of the star shower, full many in the crowd did speak of hearing a voice in their minds, did they not?
Just so. And whenever Hydaelyn has need of new servants, she is quick to pluck comets from the heavens or create illusions of the same.
Why then didst thou conjure this vision, full knowing that thine age-old foe would thus claim those awakened to the gift?
Foe? You must be mistaken. As you see, I am a warrior of light. And together with my comrades in arms, I shall save the world. Just like you.
Spooky and ominous. The more Elidibus reveals, the less I understand. But that he has made a fine mess of things is plain. He is gone, then. I've managed to persuade a number of our would-be deserters to reconsider, or at least delay their departure. But as many were deaf to my entreaties. Young Thaler and Vonard among them, I am sorry to say. They have quit the guard. Nevertheless, I wish them well. Whatever Elidibus's plan for them might be, the pair have only ever had the best of intentions. One can hardly blame them for thinking themselves heroes elect, not after having been blessed with the Echo, and it's not as if they haven't shown the requisite spirit. I quite agree. Though the impetus for their sudden departure may have been words falsely spoken, the men and women in whose footsteps they would follow are heroes in truth, warriors of light. Ardbert, yourself most of all. And so I would ask a favor of you. Speak with them ere they embark on their journey, and furnish them with what wisdom you can. They've set off for the Amaro launch, but you should still be able to catch them if you leave now. Worth the effort, I'd say. If I recall correctly, Raubon took the time to usher you out into the wider world many moons ago. I think that comparison rather flatters Thaler and Vonard, but the point still stands. They would doubtless be greatly encouraged for the warrior of darkness herself to see them off. If thou art willing, I prithee go. Thou mayest safely leave the task of unfolding that which did transpire at a nemesis to us. You again? I mean, it's you, milady. Sorry, it's been a funny old day. Be sure we'll take those words to heart. Still can't believe it. You coming all this way just to speak to us. I swear we won't let you down. So long as it helps someone, we'll do what needs doing out there, no matter how small. And when larger threats loom, we'll be ready to face them. You see if we aren't. Strike fast and true, for victory belongs to the bold. We'll be off then. Farewell, warriors of darkness, and thank you. Once upon a time, that was us. Stepping out in the big wide world. Going to help people who needed helping. Adventure where needed adventuring. I just realized my shield's been gone this whole time. I'm incorrectly glamored! Terrible. Thank you for making the effort. I'm certain your words will be a boon to them. While you were away, the others told me of your investigation. We have yet to discuss how to proceed, however. While your findings in the Nemesis Anator do raise important questions as to the identity of our adversary, we are no closer to discerning his design, nor do I know of any other potential avenue of investigation. For which reason we need to trust to Y'shtola's ingenuity, and wait for her efforts to revive the Ancient's device to bear fruit. What if we're to attempt to follow the emissary? Elusive as he is, his plan compels him to court public attention. He shouldn't be impossible to find. Especially if one of your experience. It does seem worth the attempt. Then I'll come with you. Safety in numbers. In combat, perhaps, but where stealth is required, the opposite is true. Happily, I don't plan on getting myself caught, so you've no need to worry. Nor do I intend to vanish for moons on end. We still have the empty to attend to, don't we? Alright, then I look forward to your return. But it sounds like the rest of us should avoid doing anything which might prompt Elidibus to look too closely at our movements. Insofar as it's possible, I recommend we limit our activities to the Crystarium. Speaking of which, Exarch, might I ask if you've made any progress with the spirit vessel? Of course. We are presently studying the principles underpinning memory transference and, I believe, nearing the requisite level of understanding. Less hearteningly, practical trials of transference methods suited for use with the vessel have yet to yield satisfactory results, to put it mildly. There are still many promising possibilities we have yet to test. Indeed, though it may take some time yet, we are well on our way to a solution. I shall not rest until one is found. Though we are grateful for thine unstinting efforts, thou needst not labor to the exclusion of all else. It would serve to lighten thy burden, however little, I should gladly offer mine assistance. Quite. I, for my part, will do what I can to ensure that the Crystarium continues to run smoothly, in spite of recent disruptions. Then perhaps I could help. There must be something I can do, even if it's just guard duty. Thank you, all of you. I shall breathe easier for your assistance. Of course, on the evidence of the recent past, it will not be long before some new crisis arrives to throw our plans into disarray, at which time your services will be in particular demand. That being the case, perhaps you might take this opportunity to retire to your suite at the Pendants. Pleasure as always, Mistress Ironhide. I'm relieved to see you were unharmed in the earlier commotion. Though if I may, you do look somewhat weary. I presume you'll be retiring to your suite? Very good. Do let me know if there's anything you require. Mistress Ironhide. It's Glennard from the Wandering Stairs. I apologize for calling so late. A friend of yours was asking after you. You may remember them from that business with the cardinal virtues. Oh yeah, so this is all the class quest people. I think Grandson is the tank one, but Google, because I've done them all. I have the option of all of them. Yeah, Grandson. Well met, Sinner. I was looking forward to a welcome respite here in the Crystarium, but the mood here is not exactly conducive to relaxation, as I'm sure you've noticed. I'd wager you know more about what's going on than anyone else in the city. Care to share? Can't say that I envy you your prey. Dark work, this twisting of Warriors of Light's legacy. Reminds me of what became old Dicasine, though the Ascian of yours is a fair bit more chatty. Tended to silence him myself. Brandon made his mistakes. I'm sure they all did. Past is the past. They've earned their rest. Not about to let him sully Ardbert's good name. What? You want me to leave it to you? Right. Not the only one carrying all that weight. Very well, but only because you asked. Remember, if you ever need me, just say the word. I'll be there. Yeah, the role quest guys help you fight the Warriors of Light that turn into City Eaters. We'll replay those some other time. At the end of all. Meanwhile, in the Crystal Towers umbilicus.
Foiled again. If I cannot imbue the infernal thing with my power via magical means, we may need to devise a way to infuse the vessel with my blood after all.
Art thou unwell?
Oh, perhaps a brief respite? It wouldn't do to overtax yourself.
I'm fine. And given to stubbornness, I'm afraid. Especially when I have a stake in the outcome.
Xenos, what are you doing there? Silly goose? Xenos do be walking around the ruins of Amarok. Look at that. Oh, just kidding, it was a dream.
The dream again.
Why is Xenos dreaming about Amarok? Meanwhile, in the source.
A recurring dream. They do so fascinate me. Might I trouble you for the details?
I have always dreamed of it. Fire falling from the heavens, and the city, nay, the whole world ablaze.
Indeed. Could Emmett Selk have found a way? Precious few possess memories of the final days.
The final days?
Why, yes. Admittedly, my knowledge is mostly second-hand, but if you are interested, I will gladly tell you the tale. The tale of the world's end.
Fucking Fan Daniel. And that's the end of patch 5.2. Yeah, it looks like part 3 goes through patch 5.3, assuming 5 in a cycle. So next time we will do patch 5.3, or at least begin it, Reflections in Crystal. But that's it for now. Work in the morning, yada yada. Have to go in the office. That'll be fun. Not. But stream tomorrow of indeterminate topic, since no D&D, so more time than usual on a Friday. If anyone's lurking, I appreciate you. As always, I will highlight this, toss it in the Discord. Eventually, it's going to get uploaded to YouTube. I'm pretty far behind on it, but it's my current thing that I'm uploading the VODs for. You know, not that anyone goes to my YouTube, but hey, for myself as well. Have a fantastic evening. Bye.